Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX vs. ATV Reflex, where today we're going to be playing Hangtown by the RDC track crew. That stands for Red Rider 197, Dark Slides 19, and of course the legendary C4 Detonator. All these guys are legends, and they've come together to make RDC tracks, which is, I mean, they've been doing this for a while, so I don't feel like I need to reiterate, but essentially what their newest project and completed project is Hangtown, and it is an awesome job done by the crew here. Obviously with the Pro Motocross DLC coming out in All Out lately, it's really cool to see some comparables drop in Reflex. Like we already did obviously some Hangtown stuff in All Out, but the Reflex boys, they've been hard at work still trying to pump out content, and this game is still such a blast that every time new tracks come out, it's always such an appetizing thing to go look at some of the work that these guys have done recently and try out the tracks, play them a little bit, and see what kind of big steps they're still taking, because it seems like the tracks get just better and better. This track is so well put together. It feels really close to every Hangtown that I've ever seen or ridden in other games and stuff like that as well. Having never been to Hangtown in real life, I can't swear to the hills being 100% accurate or anything, and it does seem like some sections of the track are maybe like a little bit too flat or too wide. But for what it is still a really good rendition of Hangtown, and it rides so well in my opinion. Like some national tracks in Reflex to me, like just sometimes occasionally I feel like are a little overdone with like bumps and ruts and chop, and it's just like, man, I just feel like I can't even flow on this track. It just is too crazy. But I'm sure part of that is obviously having Dark Slides 19 help out, and he obviously does really good work with his bump models. I think that probably rings true a little bit here with this track, and yeah, it's just a really terrific rendition of Hangtown. It's a little bit of an older version of Hangtown though, because it still has the Fly 150 jump right here, which is this big triple into the back, but now it's kind of like a uphill roller section of late. So I think they just drew some inspiration from a couple different years to throw this together and put a fairly updated version of Hangtown out. Regardless of which, like, this to me totally seems like a track that you would expect to see in the initial game, like with how well it's built and how good the decals are laid down. The terrain deformation seems to work perfectly, and then the environment looks really good too. I'll take a couple spins around the outside of the track and like look at some of the things that they've laid down, because this is the free ride version. There's a free ride version and a race version, so you can try out both. And again, if you're new to this and you have no idea what's happening right now, this is a PC only mod. Reflex is not moddable on consoles, so only on PC can you get these awesome tracks and some of the skins and stuff that I'm using. Like I'm using a really cool SYS bike. It's actually made a couple years ago, and I've just been using it this whole time. And again, only available on the personal computer. So sorry, console guys. I know you're probably like, how can I get this on my game? Well, you can't unless you get it on PC. Which why don't you? I mean, get your PC launched up, download Steam, download Reflex, and then you can start playing a plethora of custom tracks that have been building up this game and the content for years. And a huge part of that content growth with Reflex for this entire decade essentially has been the three gentlemen that put this entire thing together. Obviously, C4 Detonator, I think, is someone people have definitely heard with being synonymous with this game over the years and putting stuff out. So he's always done really good work. But then Red Rider and Dark Slides are both big in the community these days and always seem to just pump out terrific content. So kudos to them for putting this thing together and giving us motocross gaming fans essentially something that's a comparison. We'll have a sim version of Hangtown, or actually we won't because there's no national there this year, but you can go back and play the 2019 version of the sim Hangtown, and then now we have Hangtown and MX vs. ATV All Out, so you can jump between games and try it out on 3 different different game types, different platforms, etc., and see who made it the best essentially. I'm not really one to say like one is better than the other. I just think it's really awesome that we have the ability to play this track, this actual national track, on 3 different games at this point, because we went for so long with video games where there was no replicas of anything. So really cool that these guys put in the work to put this out. And terrific job. I am still no very good at this game, unfortunately. I just am garbage, and my garbageness relays through whenever I end up playing with Dark Slides or other buddies of his or whatever, and then I watch people like, I think Merlin, I think his name is, posting YouTube videos, and these guys are ridiculous. They put ridiculous hot laps down I just can't even compare to. I would get lapped in a 2-lap race probably by some of these dudes, but hopefully my skills are decent enough to show off the track in a positive light and it doesn't look like utter garbage. I know some people are going to probably tell me how bad my playability is, but I get it. You know, I wish I was a little bit better at the game. I try to put in as much time into it as I can. To be honest, one of the hardest parts about, you know, essentially the content creation that I do is I do jump between so many games. Like, you know, now I'm playing Reflex. You know, I've been playing All Out. I've been playing Supercross 3. I've been playing MX Simulator. I've been playing MX Bikes. And then occasionally I'll even jump back to some older games, not even old, but MXGP games like MXGP 2019, or go back to like MX Unleashed, MX ATV Unleashed, or even older games than that, like Excitebike 64 I was playing the other day. So unfortunately, I think because of that, it usually deters from my holistically good gameplay in other games. Like I used to be really sim content heavy, and it's because I played sim a freaking ton. And now I still do a lot of sim content, but I feel like I've tried to dive into some other aspects of motocross gaming lately. And because of that, my sim skills and my MX bike skills and my reflex skills and all my skills are just subpar at best, which I know sucks from a viewer's perspective because you're kind of hoping to watch somebody actually good play, but instead you're stuck with me. So again, I will just apologize that my skills are not probably as good as yours, whoever you are watching this video and about to go into the comment section below and rage. I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can to look decent at this game. And I will say that normally I am much more trash at this game than I'm displaying right now. I think big credit goes to the RDC track crew for making a track that makes me look good, because I definitely don't think I'm normally this good. And as I say that, I just get nice and high-centered on a rut. That was awesome how perfectly timed that was. Oh, man. But, yeah, man, this is just terrific job. Let me finish this lap, and then I'll try to go around the facility a little bit. Like I said, I am in free ride, so I can kind of show some other things off, some really cool just kind of like environment things that were included that they didn't, you know, they probably weren't even thinking too hard about it. They're just throwing a nice and steady environment together that looks as close to the Hangtown National as they possibly could. And in the end, I thought it turned out great. Let me see if I can get that inside rut. Nope, I'm going to go back and do that though, because I've completely missed it every time. In real life, I use that inside rut a lot. They go to this inside and then kind of funnel up to this rut, hook in there, and then they usually can perfectly clear this tabletop like that. That's the old finish line jump though. It flies down by the mechanics area into the final corner, and this is the new finish line jump. Alright, so let's show you around a little bit, right? We have, you know, the typical VIP area kind of over here. This is normally where, you know, friends and family and stuff, I think, stay. And then the Prairie City SVRA, which stands for State Vehicular Recreational Area. Building, I guess, right there. Little Red Bull arch coming through from off the track, and then this bridge you can actually ride over, but it's got kind of like wonky collisions, so you kind of just like bounce across it. It's really funny. It's almost like a challenge to try to get from one side to the other. Come on. Keep going, keep going. Aww. But you definitely can make it over that bridge. I'm just too stupid to do it right now. Nice little pit area out here. They even got the RDC tents. They've got a bunch of vans out here. Look at all the vans and trucks and stuff. And then they've even got this little hillside that is actually part of the facility that's put in over here. And they actually put in a really sweet transfer jump that I'm going to try to show off real quick and probably fail miserably at doing so. Just swing out here, try to get some speed. And you got this nice little natural floater table thing. Nicely done there. But yeah, so this area outside of the track is actually all state vehicular recreational area. I mean, that's why it's called that, because you can ride through trails and stuff all the way around here, and they didn't make the map necessarily gigantic around the outside, but they did a good job extending the map boundaries and including some cool things. I like how they have these Lucas Oil canisters all over the place, because that's accurate to Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. They got the pond in here, which I can't hydroplane across because Reflex didn't have that ability. But that pond slash swamp thing is over there. Got some more tents, some porta potties. Oh, because I can't go up to the porta potties. What do they say on them? They say toilets, power, rent-a-fence, storage containers. Interesting. All right. We got some tents back here. Some more tents in the center of the track. Nice job on the environment. Tents everywhere. Everybody sets up tents on the hillside so nobody behind them can see. Got some grandstands up top. This would be a really cool place to sit, in my opinion, if you ever came to this race, because you're just sitting at the top of this hill watching them come up at you. I think a lot of people end up staying in this area of the hill up here, so you can kind of see more of the track. But hey, look, they even got a Racer X brand tent right here. It's I'm hanging out in the company I work for's tent. I was doing donuts. Got a little cherry lift. They got another tent up here, another Red Bull truck. Tents everywhere. It's all over the place. They even have the cool Hangtown Classic banner up here. It's kind of neat. Hangtown at Prairie City SVRA. Dirt Diggers Motorcycle Club. They're the promotional brand that basically puts it on every year. And then OHV, California State Parks OHV, that's off-highway vehicle. Because California has ridiculous laws when it comes to actually riding off of roads. So you have to get a bunch of licenses and stuff like that just to ride a motorcycle off in the trails usually. Usually it's just a green sticker, but sometimes they're really a pain in the butt about it. But yeah, this is Hangtown by RDC and Reflex. Make sure it's ATV Reflex. Definitely, I would 100% recommend to download this track and whatever, you know, put it on a server, play with your buddies, or just hot lap yourself and see if you can beat a ridiculous time. Try to beat the time that was actually laid down at the Pro National last year. How about that? That's my challenge for you guys today. If you're going to download this track, go into time trial, turn in some hot laps, and see if you can beat the fastest qualifying time that was laid down at the Pro National last year. I have no idea if that's possible, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out as a challenge anyway, because why the heck not? So really appreciate RDC for putting this awesome track together. Really cool rendition of it here. And check it out in the description below. And as always, really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out another video here at Start Your Systems. But we'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.